Anka here again to deal with our second chapter, that is Lost Spring by Anis Jung. These are the stories that we would be dealing with. It is about the stolen childhood. Lost Spring. As we all know, spring is the season associated with positivity and hope. It also works as a good luck for the childhood stage of our life. Right from the time we are born until late childhood, every child hopes for new beginnings and a bright future. The phase of childhood is all about innocence, energy, and tremendous efforts towards outdoor activities, along with fun and play. Children have a high expectations and they are looking for the good future ahead. It is also a time of getting more skill and knowledge and going to school. Here we take a look at a particularly that how here is the Lost Spring summary, which I am going to explain you in detail. Lost Spring, written by Anis Jung, it talks about the national shame for the children which are being forced to live off the life of poverty and exploitation. The main two protagonists, or rather I would say the two main characters revolving around in the story, the one is Sahibe Alam and the second is Mukesh. They don't live their childhood as they have to carry the burden of poverty and illiteracy, which means their parents are least bothered for them to send to their school, and they are concerned about that how they would earn the money for daily livelihood so that the house can run. In their miserable stories of exploitation, the author provides the glimpse of courage and toughness. I would like to tell you about our author Anis Jung. Anis Jung is an Indian female author, journalist, and columnist who writes for major newspapers in India and abroad. She was born in Rourkela and belongs to a very royal family in Hyderabad. Her father, Nawab Hoshiar Jung, who was a renowned scholar and poet, worked as a muzahib or the advisor to the last Nizam. Nizam is also called as the prince of Hyderabad state. And her mother and brother are also well-known Urdu poets. Anis Jung hits the headlines with the publication of Unveiling India in 1987, which is primarily a travel diary that focuses on interviews with women. She went on to write many subsequent books on the same topic, and she talked to women about their everyday lives. She wrote books like Night of the New Moon, Encounters with Muslim in India in 93, and Seven Sisters in 94. Her book Breaking the Silence in the year 97 includes the conversations on women's lives from around the world. This topic consists of two short stories. The first story here over is Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage. So we are talking about the characters in the story. Before that, Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage. It talks about the writer's impression about the life of the unfortunate rag pickers. Rag pickers are the people who pick the materials which they find useful from the garbage, and they bury and they fill it into their jute bags. And luckily, they find themselves that if the things necessary are there in it, they sell it and they get the money and they use it for their daily livelihood. So these rag pickers, they were fortunate enough to get the coins also in between. The rag pickers migrate from Dhaka and find a settlement in Simapuri. They end up losing their fields and homes due to storms. They then come to the big city to find a living but are poor. This topic consists of two short stories. The first story here over is Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage. So we are talking about the characters in the story. Before that, Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage. It talks about the writer's impression about the life of the unfortunate rag pickers. Rag pickers are the people who pick the materials which they find useful from the garbage, and they bury and they fill it into their jute bags. And luckily, they find themselves that if the things necessary are there in it, they sell it and they get the money and they use it for their daily livelihood. So these rag pickers, they were fortunate enough to get the coins also in between. The rag pickers migrate from Dhaka and find a settlement in Simapuri. They end up losing their fields and homes due to storms. They then come to the big city to find a living but are poor. I tell you about the character Sahib. He works for the tea stall owner. He every day earns rupees 800, feel bounds as a master. Sahib admires tennis player, gets shoes he can't dream about playing the game. Sahib Sahib Alam means the Lord of the Universe. Ironically, Sahib represents thousands of rag pickers, which are bare feet, which borrow through the garbage and they sell it for their livelihood. They sometimes find a 10 rupee note or even a silver coin. The love element of the surprise and the suspense, so it is like 50-50 toss and win kind of a situation. If they get, they are lucky and they can happy for throughout the day, and sometimes if the did not get, then it is a very hard luck for to spend the entire day carefully life yet burdened, which means their childhoods are completely stolen away because of their life which they are spending. The author over here in the story then watches Sahib the rag picker every morning, who is always scrounging for gold, means they are borrowing the gold in the neighborhood. Gold, it is over here not the golden coins or the golden jewelry which we talk about, but they are the coins, 1 rupee coin or 2 rupee coin, which they get from the garbage. Garbage is actually the means of survival for the elders, and it is something wrapped in wonder for the children. Sometimes the garbage find a coin or a two from it. Even these kids have the desires and the ambition, but they have no clue about how to achieve them. There are many things that are unreachable to them. For example, shoes, tennis ball or the tennis kit and similar stuff. As I said earlier, Sahib, he loves to play tennis and he admires, but he cannot afford it, or neither does he believe that it is worth playing for him. Later on, Sahib starts working as a tea stall where he earns 800 rupees and also gets to eat all the meals. But the job takes away his freedom. Over here in the part 1 of the story, the author here is analyzing the poor conditions and traditions that push children to live a life of exploitation. They are also denied education and face hardships quite early in their lives. The writer comes across Sahib, a rag picker whose parents have left Dhaka and their life of poverty to earn a living in Delhi. Just like many other families, even his family lives in Simapuri. They don't own their any other identification other than a ration card. These children can't afford to go to school but get excited when they find a coin or even a 10 rupee note while rummaging around in the garbage, means in finding around in the garbage. This is the only way of earning. The writer feels awful to see Sahib, a rag picker, whose name also means the ruler of the earth. But the poor children has lost his childhood and roams barefooted with his friends. Right from the morning to afternoon, the author comes across him in a tea stall. Sahib becomes sad as he realizes that he is no longer the master of his own destiny, and the loss of identity weighs heavily on his tender shoulders. Over here, we have a boy, Mukesh. In the second part of the story, I want to drive a car, wherein this statement, I want to drive a car, it is being said by a Mukesh, and which is being heard by the author Anis Jung. And hearing this statement later, Anis Jung, she behaves normally. It is not a shocking statement for her because it is never wrong always to dream about. Anyways, it can change your life future ahead also. But as you can see, the family members we have over here, father, mother, elder brother and his wife, it has been made them learned or taught from the childhood that they have to enter into the business of a bangle glass blowing only, and from this only they can earn their daily livelihood. The author sheds light on another victim of child labor, Mukesh, as we already are discussing, who the dreams of becoming a motor mechanic. But the child has always worked in glass making industry. They get exposed to many health hazards such as losing their eyesight as they work in appalling conditions in dark and dingy cells. Now dingy cells, they are the dirty cells. Mukesh's father is blind, and even his father and grandfather were blind. So the bangle makers of Firozabad are so burdened that they have stopped dreaming, unlike Mukesh, who wants to drive a car. The story is the plight of the street children forced into early labor in life, and they are denied the opportunity of schooling. The lesson Lost Spring, the shares the two stories of stolen childhood. The characters and the places, they are different, but the problem is the same. Thousands of Sahibs and Mukesh are condemned to live a life of misery and exploitation. Grinding poverty and traditions, they force the children to work in the most inhuman and hostile. Hostile means a very cruel or very unfriendly conditions. The author succeeds in highlighting the plight of such unfortunate children, the callousness or the troubles which have been given by the society and the political class to the sufferings of the poor. So author had been very successful in highlighting the plight of such an unfortunate children. I hope you have understood in a better way from the topic which has been explained in the text. Thank you.